this going here. Let me know if y'all can hear me, see me. Doing a little video mic check here. What's up, Frankie? All good here. Right on. Nice. So we got YouTube going right here. We got Instagram going right here. Let's check on that stream really quick. Oh, hello. Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me. Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Cool. Man, we're going cross-platform with this stream today. That's pretty cool. Nice. Glad we didn't have technical difficulties this time like we did last time. We're going to give people like another minute to get joined up, and then we're going to start the live class on how to make a Negroni. So if you're making this live along with me, let's get our equipment ready, and we're going to get started. Also important, when you're making drinks, make sure you have your water handy. While we're waiting, where's everyone tuning in from? Stateside, international. I'm here in beautiful San Francisco. The sun is shining. Here I am inside making some drinks. Not bad. Frankie from New Orleans, right on. I was in New Orleans last year for the Tales of the Cocktail Conference. Awesome city. Great cocktail scene there. Stockholm, Sweden. Right on, man. Nice. Love it. We're getting international here. I've not been to Stockholm. I've been to Copenhagen. I work with a guy who's from Sweden. He was telling me about some crazy Swedish cocktail that has like a raisin that floats up and down in it. Does that sound familiar? It seemed ridiculous. Anyway, did not seem very good either. All right. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay. For those dialed in, were you guys clicked on the link ahead of time, or did this just pop up on your notifications? I want to make sure we're public here. Oh, we are unlisted. Let me make this public. All right, here we go. Sorry, still figuring out how to do live video on YouTube here. All right, we were unlisted. Now we are public. We should be public. Sorry for the delay, guys. We'll get started in 1 sec. Oh yeah, Liquid Intelligence. That is a great book. It's inspired a lot of the videos on this channel, actually. Yeah, you might even be able to see it there in the background. I had the privilege of meeting Dave Arnold when I was in New York City last Thanksgiving. He gave me a demo of his Spinzall tool, which is like it's like a circulator. It's like what do you call it? For clarifying liquid, where it basically spins liquid around really quick until it separates. So he clarifies things like lime juice to like get rid of all the solids in there. It's pretty rad. What's up, Melissa? St. Louis. All right, we got people coming in. Give people a couple more minutes. I want to make sure this thing is actually live here for everyone. What's up, Brady? Hey, for those just joining, did you guys get a notification that I went live, or were you already signed up for the link? Just want to make sure this thing actually went live proper, because we only have like 10 people joined in right now. Notification, right on. Cool. Brady, where you from? What's up, Dylan? Alberto, Canada. Right on. What up, Chubby Pencil? Dylan Scamp. Let me know where all y'all checking in from. Instagram, what's going on over here? I gotta come around here and check. Outside Philadelphia, Spain. Oh shit, we're going international here. I gotta find a way to get the Instagram stuff going front facing. All right, cool. Swedish Hunter. Man, I got more people from Sweden. That's awesome. Should probably make it out there. San Diego, California, represent. North Dakota, Chicago, Denmark. What's up, Nadia? I was in Copenhagen a couple years ago. Beautiful city. Bikes everywhere. All right, now we're getting going. What's up, Mike B? Guillaume, Adores, Pipe Man, Colorado. I've never been to Colorado either, despite being from the Pacific Northwest and living in Cali. Gotta make it out there. France, Montpellier, Montpellier. Bolivia. Damn, got the United Nations up in here. Hello from New Jersey. What's up, Anthony? I used to live in New York City. Used to make it out to Jersey all the time. Indiana. What's up, Matt W? Texas. Don't mess. Hey, let me know if anyone here is actually going to be making this live along with me as well. We're going to get started shortly, making a Negroni cocktail here for y'all. Talk about the history. We'll talk about the Boulevardier, my favorite variant of a Negroni, and we'll talk a bit about some interesting fun facts about Campari. Melissa's making it. All right, what's up, Melissa? What's up, Emil? I should voice ebooks. My voice is amazing. I have thought about doing voiceover. It just sounds like a lot of work, but it could be fun. Hello, Ukraine. I've not been to Ukraine. So Matt W. Boulevardier involves bourbon. So if you've got these, you should grab that bourbon and make a Boulevardier alongside me. And the most important ingredient, agua. You guys want some music? A little soft jazz? Let's see what we got here. You guys are gonna have to tell me the volume levels here. Too loud, too soft. Ron W., you're going to get a copyright strike. This is actually all free music from the YouTube Free Music Library, so we should be all right there. But I have gotten called out on that in the past. Go a little louder. Make sure your volume's up. Optimus Prime. What's up, my dude? How my people on Instagram doing over here? What's up, Instagram? Yo. Hey. What's up, Joseph? Mario. Moss Flair Bartender. I'm not wearing a black shirt. Will I be okay? You know, it's going to be a little tricky to make this without a black shirt, especially if it's not like ironed, pressed, and nicely tucked in. But if you got like a dark gray shirt, maybe like a gingham pattern, that would be okay. But in general, I recommend a jet black shirt when making cocktails. What up, Lord Ejectocito? Great name. We're getting a little reflection here. Oh yeah, you're right. We are getting a little reflection. Let's see if I can do some white balance. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't know. I can't seem to adjust the white balance too much on the YouTube app here, so we might just have to make do. Yeah. In general, I'd like to move away from using my smartphone in the YouTube app to do these, but that might be something to investigate for the next time. What's up, Ken Wilson from Marin County? Oh, you're just like 5 minutes away. All right, we got critical mass here. Got about 100 people tuned in. By the way, I am also doing another giveaway for those who tuned in last time to my live class. Doing a giveaway of this Breville smoking gun. This is awesome for smoking cocktails. It's basically a machine that you put in wood chips and then you fire it up and the fan turns on and it blows smoke throughout a little rubber tube. It's great. It comes with some applewood smoke, some hickory smoke. Very cool. I've got one of these myself. So I'm doing a giveaway here. To enter to win, you're just going to have to do, show me what you make from this live video. Show me the Negroni. Tag me on whatever social media you're using, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, or you can email it to me. Try to use the hashtag cocktail chemistry so I can just see it. And I'm going to pick a winner in about a week, and I'll send this out to you. It's like a $100 value. The thing's awesome. So keep that in mind. Whether you're making this live along with me or going to make it after, post it and tag me and show me what you did. And then for those who are Patreon patrons of my channel, I'm going to hang out a bit after this live stream is over for the $5 Patreon patrons, just as a thank you for supporting the channel. So we'll kick it for about another hour, and you can ask me any questions you want. Hello from Russia. What's up, Elemental? Latvia, South Africa, Finland. Holy shit, we are international people. That is awesome. All right, how many people we got tuned in right now? Slovakia, Guten Tag. Colorado, you're still cool, no worries. Hello, Norway. I was in Norway last year. Went to Oslo. What's up, London? Greece. Opa. Austria, Newfoundland. We got a Newfie up in here. That's sweet. What up, Philly? Peter from Seattle, my hometown. Represent. Actually from Bellevue, but close enough. Netherlands. Beautiful. Guys, I'm so excited we have such an international audience. I hope you all are able to get a lot of these ingredients over there. I know not everything is easily accessible abroad. Campari should be pretty ubiquitous because it's super popular. We're going to be using a gin today. I know the label's a bit washed out, but this is a Junipero dry gin. Any dry gin should work here. So if you're making this along with us, try to get a dry gin. And then finally, a sweet vermouth. This one should be pretty easy as well. I'm using Carpano Antica formula, which is one of my favorites. Another one I recommend is Dolin, D-O-L-I-N. That is a great one as well. Either one is fantastic. So these are basically the three main ingredients we're going to work with today. What's up, Brazil? You can't get Carpano in Nova Scotia. Damn. Okay. Cool. Yeah, white balance is off. Let me take a look one more time. Yeah, I don't think we want these filters. What's up, Instagram? How y'all doing? All right. We're back. I can't fix the washed out stuff, the label. Maybe I just need to use bottles with darker labels going forward. But I'll explain stuff if you can't see it, and we'll go along. All right, what do we got here? What do we got? Some good questions coming up here. Hey guys, I think we got like a critical mass. I'm keen to get started. We've been dicking around for about 17 minutes here. So if you're waiting for me to jump on, let's just do it. So we are making the Negroni. This is one of the most popular classic cocktails these days. Any bar worth their salt should be able to make you a nice Negroni. It's actually a pretty simple, typically equal parts cocktail. Let's talk a bit about the history a little bit. The history is a bit murky. There's not 100% consensus on the history of where this came from. It's believed that in the early 20th century, a Count Negroni went into a bar and he ordered one of his favorite drinks, which is called an Americano, which is effectively just Campari, sweet vermouth, and a bit of soda water. And he said, can we amp this up a little bit? I want it a little stronger. And so they swapped out the soda water and added some gin. And that became the Negroni. Great story, sounds nice, has not been verified to be true, but we're going to go with that. So that's a bit of the history of the drink. What you're going to need to make it, as I mentioned, sweet vermouth, gin, preferably a dry gin, some Campari. There's not really a good substitute for Campari. There are some brands out there that make offshoots, like Luxardo has like a bitter Bianco, and you can also use, there's also Aperol, which is sort of similar, but it's not going to be a good substitute. Campari's about 24% alcohol by volume here in the States. It is and it's called an aperitif. It's a type of liqueur that's traditionally drunk before a meal in Italy, so to speak. And it is a bright red, very distinctive color. Actually, fun fact, in the States, it is now artificially colored, but it used to be colored with these insects called cochineal. I think they're from South Africa, or South America. And so they crush up the insects to get this red food coloring. And they've since discontinued that for the US version, and I think most versions globally. But I believe we have some Swedish folks here. I believe I read that in Sweden and in Mexico, it still uses the cochineal as a food dye, which is really interesting that it's different in different countries. And the proof is a little bit different in different countries as well. Here it's 24%, 48 proof, but that varies slightly country to country, which seems very inefficient to me, but that's just how they do it. I don't know, there's maybe local laws that require it. Cool. All right, so we got a little history. We got some fun facts. What else do we need here? You're going to need some kind of jigger. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know I use this sort of angled measuring jigger here. Great for the home bartender, easy to pour, easy to measure. They've got, if you go to my website, I think I've got metric system versions and imperial unit versions as well. What else do we need? Some kind of mixing glass. So I think I'm using, it's called the Uri style mixing glass. You know, you don't need something like this. It's a little fancier. You can get a cheap one for like 15, 20 bucks if you want, or you can just use, you know, a glass, whatever. It just matters that it's rounded, and you'll see when we start to stir why it's important that it's rounded. What's up, guys? Austin, Texas. I love Austin, Texas. So much good live music there. Who else we got? If you're just coming in, let me know where you're coming from and what country you're at. Oh, you're drinking the White Russian. That was such a fun video to make. Right on. What's up, Ontario? Wales? Okay, so today we're going to be practicing the stirring technique as well. So you're going to need a bar spoon of some kind. I do recommend getting one of these tall bar spoons. They're super cheap. Highly recommended. And if you're going to be straining this out like we are at the end, traditionally you use what's called a julep strainer here. It is not 100% necessary you use this style julep strainer. You can use a Hawthorne strainer. Let me show you that. So this is, right here is a Hawthorne strainer. This is the one with the spring coil. You could use this as well to strain that out, but traditionally people use a julep strainer for stirred cocktails. I don't know. I actually don't know the tradition behind that. I think maybe it's a way to sell more products, or maybe that's just the julep strainer was associated with one of the stirred drinks back then. Not usually the mint julep, believe it or not. What's up, London, New Zealand, Germany, Netherlands, Denmark? What's up, Italy? Ooh, Italiano. Okay, you're going to be relevant today. We're talking about Campari and sweet vermouth a lot. Finland. Good night, Latvia. I know it's late for some of y'all here. So for those in Europe and abroad, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it can be pretty late. Cool. All right, so we've talked a bit about the equipment you'll need. Mixing glass, julep strainer, jigger. We're also going to be adding an orange twist to this as well. So you're going to need an orange and some kind of vegetable peeler. I think I use the OXO brand here. What else? Oh, of course. We are going to try something fun with this one. And this is actually a really cool party trick. So if you guys are making this cocktail, one fun thing to do is to actually ignite the citrus oils on top. So once we get the twist, we're going to twist it off, and I'll show you a little fun trick where you can ignite those oils. We'll see how that actually comes out in this light here. We might have to turn that down so you can actually see it. Cool. How's the music sounding? Not too loud? Good levels over here. Nice. It's all good. It's all good. Cool. Okay, let's set everything aside except for your mixing glass, your jigger, and we're going to start with, we typically start when we're putting together a cocktail, cheapest to most expensive liquids. And that is because if you mess up along the way, you can discard it without it costing too much. You don't want to throw away some gin if you don't have to. So I'm guessing the sweet vermouth is cheapest, so put everything aside, start with some vermouth, and we're going to mix this up, build it in the mixing glass, add some ice, stir it up, pour it into a coupe glass. Oh, I almost forgot. What about our glass? So there's actually two ways to serve a Negroni. You can serve it on the rocks, usually in like a rocks glass, old-fashioned glass, over like a big rock, or you can serve it up. in a coupe glass like this. So typically you would have no ice in the glass. And actually when I serve it up, I like to frost the glass, chill it ahead of time, so I've got some in the freezer. If you don't have any in the freezer and you still want to chill it, a good trick is just to put a little ice in the glass, put some cold water in it, and just let it sit while you're building the cocktail. So it'll be nice and cold by the time you're ready to drink. All right, right on. Okay, so put this aside, chill that if you want. Yeah, you guys, if you're looking for any of this equipment, there actually should be a link in this YouTube video to the Negroni where I list all the equipment I used. And generally, I list all the equipment on my website, cocktailchemistrylab.com, shameless plug. Can I give it a rinse first? Yes, you can give it a rinse. That's totally fine. In fact, if you're chilling it, you're putting water in it with ice, and it's going to be rinsed out anyway. All right, hey, what are we waiting for? Let's get this show on the road. Like I said, this is traditionally a equal parts cocktail. So we're going to be using 1 ounce or 30 mils of each of the liquids. So we're going to start with our sweet vermouth. And if you missed it at the beginning, we're using Carpano Antica formula. Man, it smells great. I love this sweet vermouth. Going to measure 1 ounce right there. Dump it in the mixing glass. While we're on the topic of sweet vermouth, you guys should always keep your sweet vermouth in the refrigerator once you open it. It's actually, because it's a fortified wine, it will start to go bad. It's not going to spoil and taste terrible for a long time, but it'll lose some of its brightness. So you do want to try to preserve it by keeping it in the fridge. And if you really want to get fancy, I'll show you another trick. Spend $10 and invest in this stuff. This is an inert gas. It's often used for keeping wine fresh, but it basically, you basically would pop off the top of your sweet vermouth, stick this in, and you're pumping inert gas in, which displaces all the oxygen, which oxidizes and ruins the sweet vermouth. And now you've got it capped with some inert gas. Put it back in the fridge. This should last like 6 months, totally fresh. Highly recommend it. If you're a bar or you just drink a ton of Negronis and go through sweet vermouth really quickly, it doesn't really matter. But most people, like me, don't drink it every night, and you want to preserve it and keep it fresh. All right, Instagram, how you guys doing over there? Let me check in on you. I see lots of thumbs up. Okay, cool. What's up, guys? Yeah, we're doing the Negroni for those just tuning in. All right. So we got 1 ounce of our sweet vermouth, 30 mils of our sweet vermouth. Next, cheapest ingredient in this cocktail is going to be the Campari. The Campari is a bitter, sweet aperitif. I will say that most people who try it for the very first time don't love it. It's kind of an acquired taste. It's like coffee, you know, like it's a little more bitter than people might expect. So I usually say people need to have like 3 Negronis before they really fall in love with it. But 1 ounce. Oh, jeez. That's what happens when we go live, guys. Shit happens. Can't edit that out. All right, we are 30 mils in. And about 1 ounce of that. So next up is the Junipero Gin. All right, so gin is, the dry gin here is from the brand Junipero. I like this. It's local. It's easy. But any dry gin should work for y'all. Let's see if I can make sure not to spill it this time. I'll do a two-handed approach, you know, just to be careful. Another 1 ounce, 30 mils, right into the mixing glass. Nailed it. Yeah, this one's a little washed out here, but if you can see, that's Junipero. Let's see if we can get a nice contrast there. Yeah. Cool. All right, so we've got all of our 3 liquids into the mixing glass. Now we need some ice, and we're gonna practice stirring. So if you've never stirred before, and you're doing this live with me, I'll teach you some techniques as we go through this. Just to start, you're basically going to take your bar spoon and take your strong hand and put it in between your middle finger and your ring finger. Just kind of tuck it in like that, okay? And once you're holding it like this, the idea is to keep the outside of the spoon against the inside of the glass. And you're kind of just pressing and keeping it up against the outside of the mixing glass as you rotate it. And it's sort of a push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. So you're pulling with one set of fingers, pushing with the other. Honestly, what you need to do if you've never done this before is just take some water and some ice and just practice it for 5 minutes. You'll totally get it down. And it makes it a lot easier. All right, hold on. I usually do like 4 cubes of ice up in here. It's usually about all you need. Okay. Alright, no staring at my butt, guys. Cool. Alright, so why does the stirring motion matter? It doesn't really matter. It's just you're not going to get a good stir if your technique's off. And what you're really doing here when you stir a cocktail is basically primarily 2 things. You're cooling the cocktail and you're diluting the cocktail. And that's actually really important. Some people think of dilution as like a bad thing, like I'm trying to avoid as much dilution as possible. But it actually is part of the recipe of the cocktail, and it counts for that dilution. So it's, most cocktails have like 20-30% dilution depending on if you shake or stir. So it is important. All right, so to recap, we're going to put it in between the the middle finger and the ring finger. Put it on the outside of the glass like this. See if I can get it a little bit closer. And we're just going to push, pull, push, pull. And once you get comfortable with it, you can start to go faster. And I think you should do this longer than most people do. 45 seconds is typically what I shoot for when you stir a cocktail. I think it needs to be nicely diluted. Actually, if you see over my left shoulder that book, Liquid Intelligence, by a guy named Dave Arnold, he's actually, if you Google it, you can find a blog post he did where he actually measured the amount of dilution that comes from different amounts of stirring and shaking. And he concluded that about 45 seconds was really the optimum amount of time to stir. And I've completely lost track of time, so I don't even know where we are. I'm guessing we're right around 45 right now. And what you can see is like the ice cubes got noticeably smaller here, right? Like, shocker, ice is turning into water as we cool this down. So the volume of the drink is actually increased. It's gotten diluted a little bit, and the ice is melted. So cooling and diluting the cocktail are the main reasons why you are stirring. When you're shaking, you're also adding a bit of texture, so that's an extra thing you get from shaking as well. Okay, cool. Let's get our frosted coupe glass, and then we'll pour this in and finish with the flaming citrus peel. So, as I mentioned, I like to keep these in the freezer. If you don't put them in the freezer, you can also just put some ice water in it while you make the cocktail. That's totally cool. But I like it served up. So you're going to take the julep strainer, and you're going to cup it like you're cupping the ice. So sort of convex or concave, I don't know. And then the technique typically is just to grip the mixing glass, put your index finger, and sort of use it as a lever on the handle of the julep strainer like that. So you're kind of holding it in place, and then you just pour it in. There you go. Beautiful. Have a look in there. Now I might say my volume of Coupe glass is probably a little bigger than needed for this one. You can see there's plenty of space above the wash line to the rim of the glass. So ideally you're getting a little bit closer to the rim. You could also just up the ratio a bit if you're feeling frisky. But I like these big old coupe glasses. Alright, now for the fun part. We're going to be doing a twist of orange on top, and we're actually going to try to light the oils on fire. I'm actually going to turn down the lights a little bit. One sec. What's up, Instagram? How you guys doing out there? All right, it's a little bit darker. Not that much darker, but the idea was to try to make it so we can see this flame a little bit better. So step one, get your sticker out of here. And you're gonna take your vegetable peeler and your orange. It's important that it's a fresh orange, for the record, because if it's not fresh, you're not gonna get a lot of the oils in there. It might be kind of a flimsy peel, and it's not gonna work super well. Alright, so let's just take this, cut a nice long peel. I feel like it could be a little firmer. We're gonna see how this works. I got another orange too. We'll see if that's better, but let's give this a shot. Okay. Now if you guys are doing this alongside me, this is where you get your matches. And what we're basically going to do is, let's bring this up a little bit. We're going to take the orange peel, and you got to hold it like this. Not lengthwise, like hot dog, but like hamburger style, as they say, right? Like this. So that you can squeeze a lot of the oils really quickly over the top of the drink. And you're going to do it with a flame in between, and hopefully it creates a little spark. Okay? So let's give this a shot. Be careful with fire, kids. Okay, here we go. Watch for this. Watch for the flame here. Woo, baby! See that? Now it's not like a giant fireball, but it that hopefully came through a little bit. Did y'all see that? I'm gonna do it again. Let's do one more time, just for demonstration purposes. For science. So if you missed it, we're doing it one more time for science. Cut yourself a nice thick piece like this, holding it hamburger style. Let's make sure we can see that on Instagram. Yeah, alright. Alright, I just centered it. I'll tell you a bit about what's actually happening here. Within the orange, there's these little pores. You see these pores? I don't know if you can see that. And they're filled with a little oil called, it's called limonene. It's actually used in perfumes and stuff like that. And the limonene has got a nice fragrance to it, but it also is flammable because it's an oil. And so when you flame it over the top of a Negroni, it adds a little bit of flair, but also a little bit of caramelization, they say. In reality, it is mostly for the presentation. You're not going to get like a smoky, smoked flavor from it, but you are going to get a nice orange aroma. All right, y'all ready? Lit match. Run it a little bit under the orange peel, and then you squeeze it really quick like that. So it can be pretty subtle. In a dark bar, it's a lot more apparent, but it actually is a really cool effect. It's a really easy way to get a wow out of your guests because they don't really expect it. There we go, guys. That's the Negroni. Cheers. shit, that's good. That is good. I'll get up to the mic with that. That's damn tasty. Let me know if you made this alongside with us here, guys. I'm gonna teach you guys a couple variants of this. I'm not gonna make them, but I'm gonna talk about them. One sec. So, if we, instead of using gin, took our sweet vermouth, our Campari, and swapped out the gin for this rye. Here I've got a Rittenhouse rye. That would be called a Boulevardier. It's really just a Negroni with bourbon or rye instead of gin. It's that simple. I think it's actually a phenomenal drink. So if you're more of a bourbon or whiskey guy, I would try out that variant. Then, actually, this is one of my favorite variants. That is swapping out the gin for a mezcal. In general, swapping gin for mezcal, if you like mezcal, works phenomenally well. There's a lot of cocktails where this is a good example. So the Negroni is one. The Last Word is another. If you guys have ever had a Last Word cocktail, swap that gin for a mezcal. It's fucking awesome. But if you like that smokiness of the mezcal, try just swapping any gin cocktail for mezcal. I think you'll like it. So those are my favorite variants. Probably the mezcal one is my favorite right now. All right, guys. That's going to do it for this live class. I think while I have you, let me know if you have any feedback on this. So I've heard a couple things. It's a little washed out. I can actually see this in the back. And some of the labels get washed out. I need to see if I can fix that white balance next time. I couldn't seem to fix it once we were already going. But from an audio, visual, presentation standpoint, if you guys have any notes or feedback, definitely let me know. Either shoot me an email or let me know in the contest or in the chat here. My shirt is stained. Ah, shit. My shirt's stained? Damn, I even, tried to dust this off before we got started. Use a lint roller. Where's that shirt stained? Where do you guys see this? I think you guys are just trying to make me feel self-conscious here. You got me, motherfucker. Oh, before I forget. You guys... If you tuned in at the beginning, you heard me talk about this, but you definitely want one of these. It's a Breville smoking gun. It's fucking great for smoking a cocktail. You could take this Negroni, put it in a glass, seal it, and then pump in some applewood or hickory smoke, and it'll make this awesome smoky aroma that infuses the cocktail. So I use these all the time. I have a couple extra. I'm using them as part of a giveaway. So if you want this, it's like a $100 value. Just show me your Negroni. What you made here live with me or what you make after the fact. Post it on Instagram, Facebook, shoot me an email with it. I want to see a photo of it, and just tag me somehow or use cocktail chemistry hashtag. I just want to see what you guys made. At the end, I'll select my favorite and send this out to you guys. So a little fun giveaway alongside these live classes. And for those who want to hang out for the after party, I'm doing a little after party chat over on my Patreon. I think I have a link in the description of the YouTube video here. You can come kick it with me for about another hour. I can answer any questions you guys have. Yeah, this was fun, guys. I want to do more of these live classes. I'm right now doing about one a month. Shoot me an email if you guys have suggestions for future classes you want to see. Where we sort of make these together and teach you guys the techniques around making some of my favorite cocktails. Alright guys, that'll do it for today. Thank you for watching, subscribing, tell a friend. Until next time, cheers y'all. Have a good Sunday.